We are the Uncringed Podcast, a show where we uncringe nerd anime culture, because we are not cringe, hopefully. So,
Indeed, we are not.
so yeah, I am Rex. I'm AKA Rex. Name is Steven. And I am with Denzel, aka Yo Boy Denzel, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere that you go, you can find him there as Yo Boy Denzel.
Indeed, you
Comedy. And you can't find me yet, but you will soon. You can find me here.
Indeed. Bring that into existence, brother.
You know what I'm saying? So, welcome to the show. Today we're going to this is the first episode that we're releasing. We did, how many of these so far have we done?
I think 4.
4 so far. This would be 5, I think.
Jesus Christ.
So that's a month. That's a month in the can of podcasts that no one has heard.
Besides, and now we're ready to step on onto the live stage.
Yes, and still be terrible.
We set up for about an hour.
Yeah. God was like, this is not happening, but we're still here somehow. We're going to do some brief recaps on shows that we've been watching, things that we're interested in, that we, weekly shows, weekly chapter updates in manga, anime, or, maybe the newest Marvel shows or whatever. And then we'll get into some topics about life as a person like us that watches shows and anime but still has to be a functioning adult.
Indeed.
So we have a good show. we have a good show. We have a good show. And we have to have a presence so, you could be a protector, provider, and still have fun. And it's a lot. We're going to get into it.
Indeed.
We're going to get into it.
We're all about preserving that inner child.
Kind of. But so what have you been watching recently? Let's do the recap first.
Watching mainly Attack on Titan.
Or reading. I know you read Dragon Ball Super, so.
Oh yes, because the new chapter just came out last week. It drops on like the 20th of every month. Mm-hmm. The last chapter kind of went a little crazy, not gonna lie.
I still haven't seen it. So
you haven't read that manga?
For the fans, I've read the manga months ago. So I haven't been watching anime, I'm binge watching. So no. But whatever you can talk freely.
Oh, well. It's in the middle of the what's the name of his arc again? I believe it's the Granola the Survivor arc.
Okay. I thought we were talking about Attack on Titan, but continue. Yes, Granola the Survivor. True. I'm familiar with that as well.
Oh, in that case, yeah, it's still in the middle of that. Mm-hmm. And there's been quite a few plot developments. Some decent, some people aren't so happy about, but it is what it is. Some people aren't happy about how different Bardock is in the manga versus how he was in like the old Bardock, the father of Goku OVA that came out all those years ago.
Right.
But other than that, I think it's a solid story.
What do you think?
I'm enjoying the arc so far.
Overall, would you say Dragon Ball Super, where would it rank in? This is a good question. Where would Dragon Ball Super's manga or story? You could say anime too, but I know the manga is supposedly better than the anime because the anime has had some bad stretches.
Oh, yeah.
In the Dragon Ball series, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, where does Super rank to you as of right now?
That is a hard question to answer because if you're talking about the series as a whole, that means it's an even more difficult question to answer because the manga and the anime are way different from each other.
You could you could pick one. You could just say the manga.
Yeah, I know I would, except sometimes the manga does things worse than the anime, and then sometimes, like, perfect example, the Tournament of Power. The anime's Tournament of Power, chef's kiss. Listen, it had its
You
downs,
put
but the
some
up
sauce on
moments was
that.
up.
You
The
put
up
some
moments
sauce
was
on
up.
that.
Jiren was boring, but listen, Goku grinded a Kamehameha on a laser beam and blew somebody off the stage.
Yeah, they spent the
There's
whole budget on 5 episodes for a
Man,
season. So
listen,
yeah.
those were some good 5 episodes. However, the storytelling is more concise in the manga, and also it actually continues because it doesn't just stop at the Tournament of Power. It has like 2 or 3 more arcs after that, which is appreciated.
Okay.
So if I
I
had to rank it,
mean,
I would say that it is not as good. It's not as consistently good as Z, and the story as an isn't as tightly paced as the original Dragon Ball,
but
but it's also
this
not.
is what I want. Give me
Oh yeah,
this one. Is it better than GT or not?
oh it's better than
That's cap. That's cap.
nah.
That's
GT is
cap.
dude. GT
No.
is
No.
will hold that crown of garbage for the rest of its
The
days.
reason that I say GT might be better than Super,
Uh huh.
the baby arc is fire. For what it is as a character and a villain, Baby is a fire character. Super 17 was cool. I really like Super 17.
You
What
like Super 17?
It was all right. It was okay. What kills Dragon Ball GT is the Omega Shenron arc, all the oob stuff in the beginning, how we got Goku as a kid again. It was like throwing you off a little bit.
So 90% of the show.
No. The beginning of the show. I think towards the end it started to, pick up. And I think the opposite is true with Super.
You thought
Super
it
had
was
Goku Black was fire,
uh huh.
right? Hit was decent. That was cool with the whole, that was cool.
With
And
time
then you
skipping.
have Beerus, that was cool. Everything after that, Tournament of Power is where it starts to get trashed to me because I didn't like most of it. Some of the fights was cool, but some episodes I was watching like, what?
But it
Why
gave
is
us Ultra
Frieza
Instinct,
here?
man.
Why the hell is Frieza on this?
He's the best part of the
We
tournament.
we just had a movie kicking his ass, and now he on the team, and I'm supposed to
No.
care?
But he was the best
Nah,
part of the tournament.
no, bro. This shit feel like a Disney like after school special. After a while, they just taking the popular characters and putting them on the same team. That's how I felt in the Tournament of Power.
Oh my god.
You might as well go get Cell.
That would be fire. I'm not
If
gonna
he
lie.
had better popularity, you'd have had Cell. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, all right. But Frieza made the return of power better, in my opinion.
Anyway, what about
But
Attack on Titan?
Attack on Titan, I think we got like 2 episodes left.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
As in, I think we've got the episode that dropped today, and I think we got one more episode after that.
And that's it.
I think that's it.
Did you watch today's episode? Hold
I
on.
tried to today. I didn't get a chance to.
Hold up. Hold up. Let me pull up Crunchyroll. You serious? 2 episodes left? This is going by
Mhm.
way quicker than I thought.
Rumbling, rumbling, it's coming, rumbling. Yeah, I think so.
Oh
I think it's
shit.
like 2 episodes left. Like where I last left off, Annie unthawed herself. Spoiler alert for anybody who's not.
Yeah. This is
That's
the
a
show,
spoiler.
guys. This is the show. This is a show for people who want to be up to date. If you want to not be spoiled, skip the first 15 minutes.
Indeed.
But yeah.
We might have to edit that part in before I started blabbing.
Now we no, go ahead.
But yeah, where I last left off at, Aaron has gone a full on sociopath
Leave him alone.
and just released hell on earth to everybody.
Team Aaron.
Team Aaron.
I'm a
His name not-
Jaegerist.
Yo, he killing everybody and their grandma.
It's war. It's beef.
Dang, you from
It's
inside
you
the
or
walls?
me. You forgot that they pulled up to the walls? Did you forget
Yo,
about that?
you forget you don't live inside the walls. You be dead.
Did you forget what they did to your brothers and sisters?
Man, listen, all right. Did you forget how the dogs ate your sister?
I'm just I'm just saying, all right. Somebody got to be Malcolm X. Okay, not everybody could be Martin Luther.
Yeah, this man's by any means necessary is a little bit too by any means about it.
That ain't his fault. You fuck with the wrong guy.
Yeah, but
You ain't think you thought you could just get away with this on random people. You ain't realize the Attack Titan was in there wilding. You ain't realize that. You ate his mom's in front of him.
Aaron
Well,
was
technically,
Armin was sitting there. I remember sitting there like,
I
yo,
know, be
it's all
quiet.
right. He's gonna use the rumbling to be a deterrent, and we're all good. Then he told everybody, "Hey, yo, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go ahead and kill everybody. Like, that's it. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of people pulling up to my hood. I'm tired
Mm-hmm.
of people telling me what I'm supposed to do, where I can't go. If you can't go here, you're gonna die. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm killing everybody, and I'm
Okay.
doing it as a giant parabola titan. His bones coming out into a U shape or whatever.
Oh, so you okay. Did you see any deaths recently? I'm trying to parse where you are specifically in the story. So
Okay,
I
so
know what to talk about and what not to talk about.
Connie is taking Falco to the best picnic of his life.
Did anyone stay behind or
I don't think there's been an important death. Flock shot
okay.
somebody in the head, but he was a nameless character.
All right. I'm sorry, fans. Nothing happens soon. I'm sorry to you as well. Nobody stays behind. Everyone is good.
Mhm.
We'll continue. I'll be perfectly quiet.
And listen, all right.
But how
As
do you feel
long,
overall with the direction of the story, though?
yo, I'm
With
loving it.
Aaron being
The
uh,
villain.
the villain, the Jaegerist versus the I forgot what they call the other
Oh,
group.
I love it. It makes complete sense. Like this guy's entire thing from jump was, I want to be free to do whatever I want. And at the
Yes.
time when he said that, the Titans was keeping him in the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a whole bunch of other people, but
With
his
planes
motivation
and shit.
still has not
Yep.
changed.
Mm-hmm. It hasn't changed at all.
No,
Not at all.
no, he said, I'm a bird in the cage still. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm turning the key. And I
The
get it.
minute what I like about Aaron is throughout the entire story, and I feel like I'm blessed because I was able to read
Hmm.
Attack on Titan with a little bit of prior knowledge, but then also I was able to binge the entire series. Because when I started reading the series again, I
Uh-huh.
read it with one chapter remaining. Literally. Like
Really?
the final chapter was supposed to drop. Let's say today is the 27th, right? Let's
Uh-huh.
say the final chapter is supposed to drop on the 1st of next month. I started reading on the 27th, or I finished reading on the 27th, right? I binged the whole series by reading it. So I had seen the first season and then I binged it.
Uh-huh.
So I seen Aaron is very consistent with his message.
Oh
It
yeah.
makes perfect sense what they're doing with his character. And I was reading a little bit. People hated it. Some people didn't really get it. I'm like, no, you just don't have a clear, view. But it makes sense what he's doing.
Uh-huh. All right.
Perfect
Oh
sense.
man, it's completely out of character. No, it's not. It's not. He
Nah,
told
nah,
people, everybody, exactly what he. That's the one thing about Aaron. He is not a liar.
not at all. You
He's
just
like,
don't
I'm
be
gonna make
believing
you
him.
suffer and die in the worst ways possible. This man
Mm-hmm.
pulled up to his neighborhood and said, "Hey, yo, remember what I said?"
Yep. They had him in prison, and he was like, "I just want to know what you gonna do."
Like, you know, I can break out anytime, right?
Anytime I want, but I just want to know what you're gonna do about it. He wants smoke. It's simple like that. Okay, so Attack on
He got
Titan.
that man bun and he started wilding.
I have to catch up to Demon Slayer because people are going crazy. Um,
Oh, yeah, it's in season 2 right now. I haven't started it yet, but it's
I
making waves.
I will say this though, I've been consumed with games recently. I bought Dying Light like a week ago.
The zombie game.
Yes. So Dying. Did we talk about Dying Light?
Did we? I don't think
So
we did.
I'm gonna break it down. So Dying Light is an open world zombie game. So I don't know what that means to you, but think Assassin's Creed, but everyone is a zombie, right? You have to survive
Ooh.
by existing in small little scapes, little villages. Most of the cities exist on rooftops away from zombies. So if you fall to the
Mhm.
ground floor, you're in like a swarm, basically. So the game
Ooh.
exists, and it's also a day and night cycle. At night, pretty much everything is turned up, and zombies can go on the roofs pretty much. But at night, they
Ooh.
avoid the light. They avoid protections kind of that you have on the roof. So the roof is safe pretty much during the day, but at
Uh-huh.
night it's you better find some safety. So that's the game, right? What makes it interesting is that it's a parkour system basically. So it's a lot of running, jumping, and it feels really good to play.
And
So
first
I was
person?
having fun. It was cool. It's just, and this is an interesting transition because I've been playing Elden Ring
Uh-huh.
nonstop since it came out.
Now I've heard about Elden Ring.
Okay, so I got you. Just take a seat, take a sit back. Let me divulge
Teach me.
just for a little bit. Dying Light has the Ubi like or Ubisoft like, whatever people want to quote it, whatever. It has
Mhm.
that curse of feeling very um checklisty, feeling very simple in terms of his story. Oh, the
Yeah.
daughter and where's my sister? It has very
Oh,
like a corny type feel to it. You understand what I'm saying?
uh-huh.
It's good,
I'm
but
on
it
a mission for revenge.
yeah, oh, I'm special somehow and I have to do this thing. And it's like, yeah, I'm not mad at the story. As I'm here for the parkour. The story's
Uh-huh.
a nice icing. I'm sure the story gets better as the game goes along. The world is really nice. I fuck with it. I like it. No issues with Dying Light for the most part, but I am not wowed necessarily. Elden Ring, right, is the exact
Uh-huh.
opposite. Well,
Really?
not the exact. It's the opposite in terms of the flaws. That game does not hold your hand at all. It is a Souls like, so it's a Dark Souls like game, right?
Oh, in other words, it's gonna kick your teeth in.
Correct. But it does that as well in the open world design. Meaning, if you want to find something, you got to find it. Or you got to buy something that tells you where it is. And then you have to look for it. There are no
Uh-huh.
quest markers unless you put it there on the map. I can't tell you how many times I've opened my map and scrolled and looked for something like, where is this kind of thing? And I'll pinpoint it and then I'll go and try to explore to where I pinpointed. But there
Uh-huh.
is no talk to this guy randomly and go where he tells you to. That doesn't happen. The most that you'll see is a story mechanic that kind of vaguely shows you where checkpoints are for the
Mhm.
most part. Well, maybe there's like an NPC that might show you a pathway you can follow.
Come with me, traveler.
No, not even. No, nobody talks to you necessarily. That's
What?
not Dark Souls. That's not Dark Souls is a world of fuck you. Okay?
Yeah.
that's the world. And I'm saying Dark Souls is the same game,
They need to
essentially.
put that on the back of a box.
that's, that's the world. So you want a better weapon, ain't nobody gonna give it to you. You gotta take it, you gotta find it. But I will say this, to make it more brief and concise. I haven't played a better open world game in my life.
That is a bold claim.
Dark Souls 1 to me is a top 3 game of all time to me because it has the beauty of being, how do you say, it's difficult no matter what you do,
Hmm.
right? It's impossible to just breeze through Dark Souls unless you have pure skill, but then you can also make it as easy as you want it to be by playing smart and doing the right things. It's like such a master class of design to me. This game does that in an open world way, which I've never seen. It's almost like they took Zelda 1, where it's like, oh, here you go, take this, go on your journey, right? And
Hmm.
you're like, what? What do you mean? Just go? What am I supposed to do? But they
I'm
took,
the strategy guide.
yeah, this is 1999. This this game took that kind of premise and made an actual fire game out of it. So yes, you can travel anywhere you want. When I tell you this game is gorgeous, like I haven't seen a game this beautiful, and not in terms of raw graphical power. I'm talking about in terms of design. You'll walk somewhere and see, like, it's little spoilers, the shit that I'm telling you, because it's like I
Uh-huh.
want to experience it myself. But who cares? So you could be walking and see a giant um cliff golem monster with a castle on its back, and it's walking and it has this church bell that's ringing, and you're like, what is that church bell that keeps ringing? And you just peer over the cliff and it's a big ass golem monster that's walking with a church on its back, and you're like, what? Who came up with that idea? And you can like, it's just the things they decide to do is incredible in terms of exploring.
I'm assuming that you can go to that golem monster, scale it, and get into this church bell tower.
Anywhere you see, you can go. I
Hmm.
mean, and that's something that people don't get unless they play a Dark Souls game from FromSoft. There are other games that are like this, Souls like games from other companies. Yeah, that's cute. But the level design in Dark Souls is probably the thing people don't talk about enough,
Uh-huh.
because it'll show you something off in the distance and you'll be like, "Oh, that's just a backdrop." and then you'll just be playing the game, and you'll be, wait a minute, this is exactly what I just saw. And then you'll look off in the distance and be like, oh, I was just there 4 hours ago. That's fire. And it was like that in the first Dark Souls game. This game does that on a different level.
With PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X technology.
And I'm gushing, but I'll tell you this right now, just to finish it. This game is going to win Game of the Year, 100%. Every fighting style is viable. The combat is incredible. The horse combat is incredible. The weapon design is fire. It's just like I can't think of a flaw other than one that I'll probably expand on later. But I'll give a brief thing here. You kind of need to know how to play these games already in order to get the full experience. Otherwise, you'll kind of beat your head into a rock for a while trying to like learn things. But if you're familiar with it already, it's kind of like a fish to water. But I imagine you, someone who's never played this type of game,
Indeed.
if you play it, you're probably gonna be frustrated about the mechanics first, or
Oh,
like
I fully expect to
the
throw a
choices
controller at
first.
the wall.
Yeah, but that's part of the experience because once you actually beat a boss, that'll be a feeling that you can't go back from. You'll be like, okay, why would I ever play Assassin's Creed again? Once you have that experience. So yeah, gushing over Game of the Year compared to Dying Light, no comparison. There's no checklist. There's no boring ass story. None of that exists in Elden Ring, and it's a higher quality open world. It's like night and day, even though they're both good games. So yeah, that's my
I believe
soapbox.
it.
Game of the Year,
Interesting.
even with the flaw.
I don't know if it's gonna get Game of the Year. There's a lot of games coming out this
It's
year.
no question. I'm not even. It's no question. This game has gotten less than. I don't think it's gotten less than a 10 once. If you
It's
look
time
at the ratings, everything is giving it a 10, and it makes perfect sense why.
until the zero punctuation on this game drops.
I already know what he's gonna say. He says the same thing every time.
Make a point.
But yeah, all right. So speaking of that, you want to get into more of the serious topics, and I'll describe to you how being on the game has been terrible for my life for a couple of days.
Oh Lord.
Oh man. Um,
Yeah, we can switch gears to one of these topics.
it's not easy to be on the game for hours when you have a full time job and a wife. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy.
I feel you on that one. Not the wife part. I'm not married, but
Not
I do have
easy.
a full time job.
So the topic is how do you find time to keep up with your hobbies in a world where you have to be an adult and you have to be busy with other things. How do you find time to actually immerse yourself in a game that wants you to immerse yourself, or a story, or a movie, or whatever?
Yeah, because it feels like the more responsibility you get as you either A, get older, or B, like climb career wise, you got a lot less time to do things that you enjoy or things that
Facts.
like give you like that calm or that sense of relaxation that you used to have. Like me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I enjoy reading. I enjoy gaming. I enjoy reading my manga. I enjoy watching my anime, the whole nine. I
Right.
mean, you can tell from the shirt and the poster in the background that where my interests lie.
Got you.
But I got a full time job, and game stories they be running like 40 hours plus, and I work 40 hours plus. That's 80 hours. I cannot play these games and go to work at the same time. Unfortunately, I mean, some people can currently because remote working from home is probably a godsend for people like us.
Facts.
But we don't work from home.
I feel like some people actually choose careers that kind of fit in with their hobbies on purpose because they like value that time. I know I value it. I force times to myself at my own detriment
Uh
in
huh.
terms of I have to get up in 9 hours and I'll be like, fuck it, I'm a game for 2-3 hours because I just need that time to decompress and that's
Uh
how I do it. Um, but no, 2-3 hours in a game is nothing. That's a cutscene. That's a cutscene and a tutorial, and then
That's
that's
a
it.
Metal Gear Solid cutscene.
That's a mission. Like, that's not a lot of time. So it's like it doesn't really do much. And I can't tell you how many games I've dropped because I just haven't had the time or energy to go back to them. And I'd
But
come back to them later and I'm like, yes, I have time. And I get there and I'm like, what was I doing? I don't even care about this guy no more. Like, why
that's
am
a
I helping
full
him?
fact. I
So
refuse to start Red Dead Redemption 2 because I heard that it's gonna take me a fortnight to complete.
that's cap, by the way. You beat that game in 10 hours, 15 hours.
There ain't no way you beating that game in 10
I
hours,
beat
15
it in
hours.
10, 15. I did it. That's one
You
of the
did no
games that
side quests or nothing, must be.
I'm so okay. I've developed tactics that allow me to have these little experiences. So Red Dead,
You
I
did.
think I had 2 days off, 2, 3 days off, and
Uh-huh.
I kind of blitzed the story for the most part. And it wasn't like I was rushing through, but I just didn't do anything on the side.
10
Just the
hours,
story.
you
But no,
rushed through.
about 15 hours. About 15 hours.
Okay. That's a little bit more exciting. I'm about to
Yeah.
say there's no way a Red Dead game was shorter than a Call of Duty campaign.
Nah, Call of Duty campaign is like an hour. I feel like.
And the
But
crazy part is I don't even have time to do a Call of Duty campaign. What was it?
so
The last time I tried to get immersed in a game, it was Horizon Zero Dawn. It went on sale on PSN's Game of the Month thing,
mhm.
where it gives you a free game. I said, "Oh, cool, Horizon, that's dope." Went ahead, downloaded it, and said, "I'm gonna run through this real quick, get hyped up for the next one that's coming." That it came out already. Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. Let me see what I'm missing. I downloaded that game back in I want to say like November. I have only just recently, without beating the DLC, beaten the story to completion. And that's not with the completing all the side quests. That's not with doing the DLC. That's not with finding everything in the game. It took me
Mhm.
several months just to get to a point where I was like, okay, that was a story. And so many times I had to go on YouTube and type in, who the hell is this character? That
I
is now
feel you.
telling
I
me
feel
that
you
you are a fate
100%.
of the world. Like, what do you mean I'm the fate of the world? I was hunting an elk. What did I miss? What am I
I,
not remembering?
I felt that way about not Sekiro. I felt that way about Ghost of Tsushima. I'm like, I don't even care about my clan. I'm just like, like, yeah, they lost. Like it is what it is. Like people lose sometimes. I'm just running around the countryside as this fucking ninja now. I'm good. I don't
This
care about
is
this clan no more.
Samurai Batman.
Yeah.
This is what it
Cause
is.
in the beginning of the game, they show you your father's like, this is how you hold a sword. And they showing you all that shit. And it's like, you get invested, like, yeah, like we gotta bring it back for the clan.
For the clan.
I come back 2 months later. I'm like, what the fuck is the name of the clan? Who are
Clan
we?
Sakura?
I don't fucking know. Like, but yeah. Hmm.
Lord. So, how do we balance this out?
Um, I don't know. I'm weird. I get 5 hours of sleep.
No, no.
I don't remember the last time I had 8 hours of sleep. Even after this, I had a whole day of work, came home, spent time with the wife for a little bit,
Uh-huh.
ate, um, you know, hygiene stuff, and now I'm on a podcast. I'm about to play Elden Ring, and I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm doing all this on 5 hours of sleep, so that's about 13 hours of doing stuff. It feels like
That's like
probably
two
more
Red
like
Bulls and a cocaine packet.
yeah, probably more like 10 or 11. But I have other stuff to do, and then before I go to bed, I'll make sure I get my game in for a little bit.
I
I'll
feel you. I
probably
feel
die to a boss 10 times and then cut it off.
you. Trust me,
so,
that's about me.
so yeah, it's not very easy. And then you go on YouTube and it's like, oh, speed run done in 5 minutes. Like, how'd you even figure this out?
You know how much time you had to put in to figure out how to beat a game in 5 minutes?
Yeah, like come on, bro.
You
But
wasted. You put in 5 hours of your life to beat the game in 5 minutes. Come on now.
I do have a tip.
Oh, share your tip.
So, and this goes for anime too. This goes for gaming, whatever you do, right? Let me build the suspense a little bit. Build the suspense. This is what you do, okay? This is one of my problems that I have, okay? We don't take our time seriously. We have a very I feel like I'm supposing, I'm not putting that on anybody, but I feel like we don't respect our own time and we don't necessarily respect our hobbies. I
Uh
feel like
huh.
it's a thing that you think low of or whatever, and I don't subscribe to that at all. So I kind of budget my time. I schedule it. Like I have a genuine like every Thursday I'm reading One Piece. Period. She
Hmm.
knows it. She'll let me know. She'll ask me Friday, "Hey, did you read One Piece?" Like if she remembers to ask me, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, I forgot. I was asleep." Like it's something that I kind of schedule into my day
Uh huh.
around what I'm doing. So I know on my days off, I have some extra time to game. I have time to catch up on shows. I have so I kind of budget it and I respect that time. That's why people like I don't pick up the phone. I don't pick up the phone because I got a lot of shit I'm doing.
Uh
And
huh.
what I'm doing is playing a game. I don't care if you don't respect it or not. I respect it. I need that time. You understand what I'm saying? So
Okay.
that's kind of how I do it. I set my boundaries the same way somebody would set their boundaries if they're going to the movies or playing ball on the weekends or whatever hobby they might like. Oh, I work out 2, 3 times a week. Okay, cool. That's great. That's respectable. Do your thing.
Indeed.
I watch this show
This is
once a week, and I
just my
make sure that
personal
I
zone.
get yeah, I make sure I get my time in. I respect my time. Like I don't carry myself like, oh, I'll just fit it in. Like, no, I like this. I'm gonna force myself to keep up with it. That's why I'm like forcing myself to have time to play Elden Ring because I know that I want to experience that. I don't want to
Mhm.
be the guy that's like, oh, the perfect game for you came out and I didn't get a chance to play it. Why? Oh, I don't have time. Nah, like this is something I like. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna make time. You understand what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
So it's about respecting your time and making time for it. Because time exists. It's there. It's just you have to kind of enforce it. Would be my tip.
Indeed.
So what about you? What's your tip to help people with that?
Um, lots and lots of Red Bull and a general disregard for your sleep habits.
Facts. This is
Just
all facts. This is all
Lord. But
facts.
if I was going to do a constructive criticism, well, not criticism, a constructive tip, I would say that is just a matter of finding responsible pockets of time to enjoy yourself. Like me, for example, I come in from work. If I want to de-stress and I still have the energy for it, I turn on the game. Give it a few, let's go, give it like 30 minutes to an hour. And then, if I still have time, keep going. If not, then I cut it off. Try it. Let's go. I'll do it again tomorrow. I've
Right.
been doing that with, let me see, one game that I've been playing still is I recently attempted the genocide run on Undertale,
Mm-hmm.
and every other day, whenever I remember to be angry with myself, I decided to load that up and get my entire teeth kicked in by Sans for a couple of hours, and then I go to bed more
Facts.
angry than when I walked in the door.
No, but it's fun, and I'll tell you this too. I have games for moods. I have like games like for example, the reason I genuinely fuck with Elden Ring 2,
Hmm.
it becomes easy enough but still challenging enough that I can do it in the background.
Uh
So
huh.
I can put the game on and put music on while I just attempt to run over and over and over again. Or if I'm exploring a dungeon and I want to pay attention, that's fine. But I could also kind of put something else on and pay attention to the game, but not necessarily hear it. It's possible to do that
Uh
because you're
huh.
just exploring the world. But then I also have games like Apex I play when I want to have like a competitive thing,
Uh
or
huh.
I have like a relaxing game when I want to just jump around and whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Like
I
games
think
for
I'm doing this
moods.
wrong because all my games are stressful.
Yeah, you got to have a game that you blow off steam with.
Uh huh. I thought that was
Sometimes I
going to
just
be
play.
Cuphead.
Yeah. Call of Duty is one that you shouldn't play unless you want to be mad.
Oh yeah,
Cuphead is yeah,
especially
yeah.
with if you got the headphones in, you just want to punish yourself at that point.
Yeah, Cuphead, Call of Duty, like games like that that are challenging or like competitive in some way or
Uh huh.
social. You need to have a game that's just like, hey, I'm here to just have a good time and leave. Like it's important to have that, especially if you only got like an hour.
Indeed.
So, what about dating? How do you manage playing games or watching shows or whatever with your significant other? Do
Um,
you watch shows with your girl?
we will start a show at the exact same time and try and like keep pace with each other and discuss which episode we're on and stuff like that. So yeah. I will say when we first started dating, she definitely wasn't into the same type of stuff that I was into.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it called? I personally don't enjoy 90 Day Fiance, so it's we both have to reach across the aisle and find some common ground. So she's introduced me to some shows, and I've introduced her to some shows, and I don't know. It feels like for me personally that
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for her to try and suggest a show to me like a 90 Day Fiance or something like that, than for me to go through a list of anime in my head and be like, okay, this is the one that's not gonna make her be like, this is weird, and you're weird.
Facts.
What's it
But do
called?
you care? Do you care if she thinks that you're weird? I'm curious. Do
I
you
mean, listen,
care?
we've been dating for over a year. She is well aware of what she's decided to put up with.
Facts. Fact. And then this is another tip. This is wisdom. This game. Confidence is never weird.
Indeed,
Confidence is never weird. I don't give a fuck if you're the dude,
that's a whole
but
fact.
if you go to
That's
work
why
with a
you're gonna watch
Naruto headband,
Stars
I'm
because
never watching
confidence.
Beastars. I'm never watching AO Stars. I'm not watching that.
Hey,
I
yo.
still AO Stars. I'm cool. I'm not watching it. People like it. I heard it was great. Enjoy it. Maybe I'll watch it someday, but I have a lot to watch and a lot to play. I'd much rather
Uh-huh.
do those things.
It's all
It's a
right.
pecking order thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's
all right.
not very
You're
high
gonna
on
knock
there.
everything out of your pecking order soon, man. Some
I'm cool
excellent.
on that one. I'm cool on that one. No, but why don't you? You know what I do? I had this thing with my brother. He had watched. I forgot what show it was, but it was an anime, a new anime he had watched, and
Uh-huh.
he called me. He was like, "Yo, give me some fire to watch." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Lord.
so, so we was talking. He was like, "Yeah, give me that fire. Like, I need something hot." I'm like, "All
Your
right."
recommendation need to be on point.
Yeah, so you then have to think for them. What is this person like? And this is what I do. I try to think of like what story things would work with them. Does this
Mhm.
person like fights? Do they not like fights? Do they just like a good premise? Do they just like this? And what I learned is anime to a lot of people is a novelty. So they're not if you give them I don't know, what's a good story? If you give them Fresh Prince of Bel Air, they can watch it on TV. Sure, it's cool,
Uh-huh.
digestible. You get the family values, it's nice. But if you give them a family value anime, it's too much to digest because it's the format.
Uh-huh.
That's not going to work for them. What will work for them is something that is novelty to them because the whole genre to them is novelty. So you
Uh-huh.
need like a strong premise. You need something that is
Need
hold
something they're gonna connect with just
exactly.
off just like the premise alone.
Exactly. It can't just be, hey, this is an anime that does this. It has to be, no, this show is interesting because.
Uh-huh.
Right? It can't just be, oh, this is cool anime I like where they do this. It's like, no, no, no. It's not strong enough for these people because they're not. They have to get over the hump that they're watching an anime in the first place.
Indeed. Like you can't
So
suggest
yeah,
Dragon Ball Z as somebody's first anime.
yeah, because it's like, what? What is his hair doing? This is weird. Like, why is his mannerisms like that? It's
Who's a
weird. Like,
monkey?
yeah, like, nah. But then, how you get people into shows like that? You show them fight scenes, or maybe you show them little story beats, and then maybe they be like, oh, that look cool. Maybe I'll watch it.
Uh-huh.
That's how you get them. But with Emily, my wife, I got her into Death Note, and I
Uh-huh.
explained to her the premise. She watched the first episode, and she
That
was
is
like,
the perfect starter anime.
hooked. It's easy to digest. Like it's McDonald's for high quality anime.
Uh-huh.
Very. I don't know a person that doesn't like Death Note. Somebody might love it more than the other, but no one dislikes Death Note.
True.
So she binge watched the whole series. I got my brother into Death Note. I got my brother into Erased. No, was it Erased? I'm sorry, it was Promised Neverland.
That's another
Loved
vibe.
it. He
Yeah, it's a
loved it.
shame that it never had a second season.
Never happened.
Jesus Christ.
Never.
Somebody should really think about doing that and following the manga
I
plot.
think that would be. I don't know what you're talking about with the manga either. I don't. I just know one season of the anime and one season
That,
of the manga.
that's crazy. Like
That's it.
Can you imagine if they animated Goldie Pond? I mean, it would be crazy
Yeah,
if
it
they.
was cool. It was great. It
Yeah,
was
man,
great.
if they ever animated season 2 and they left that stuff out, I think a lot of people would be angry. But
Mm-hmm. I only know the first couple chapters. That's it. I don't know
that's
nothing past that.
crazy.
That's
It's
it.
crazy talk.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so you suggested Promise Neverland and Death Note to your wife and your brother.
She can't watch Promise Neverland because of the gruesomeness. She needs something that is light
Oh,
on
she
violence.
got to the end of she got to the end of the of episode 1.
Yeah, yeah. She well, the premise was dark enough for her that she wasn't even vibing with it.
Mm.
But it sounded cool. But she was like, "What? The kids on the farm? I'm cool."
It sounds like me and you have the same suggestions
Yeah.
for starter anime, because the first thing that I introduced my girlfriend to was Death Note. And then, or was it the other way around? I think I introduced her to Death Note first
Mm-hmm.
because of course. And then I said, okay, well, she liked that because that's a relatively realistic type of anime. Other
Yeah.
than Demon
It's
Willem Dafoe hanging out in the background laughing, it's just pretty much
yeah.
a grounded show. So I said, okay, let's try one that's still a little bit grounded, but just a little bit weird. That's why I got Promise Neverland. She got past episode 1. She's like, oh my god, they're gonna
Yeah.
eat the children's. And she
And
watched
she didn't watch
all
it.
the way through, and she was like, "Oh man, should I watch season 2?" To which I had to unfortunately remind her that season 2 doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah.
And
Never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
never happened.
Never
But
happened.
from there, Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is a little too slow, I find, to recommend to people.
Uh huh.
They have to have it's a slow burn because I feel like again, if somebody doesn't respect the medium or they're not interested like that, they need something to hook them to be like, yeah, I could watch this. They're
Indeed.
okay, I get it. But the first episode of Cowboy Bebop, if I recall correctly, is like it's just a good show. It doesn't necessarily come off strong like the first two shows we mentioned. It doesn't get right to it. It's more of just like, hey, this is a cool
Uh huh.
vibe show. That's not
It's
enough,
something
I
to
find.
put on, chill, have a good time, enjoy
Yeah.
the voice of Steve Bloom.
Yeah, exactly. That's not enough. That's not enough. One thing I did get her to watch, I'm curious to see what your girl think.
Mhm.
We watched Evangelion.
You introduced her to Evangelion straight off the bat. She ever watched a mecha anime before?
No, but it worked with her. The story was good enough. The mechs and everything was interesting enough, and it's
Mhm.
enough human drama and story drama separate from the fighting that it kind of works in like a normie sort of like I don't watch anime way. It works,
Jesus
you
Christ.
know, and it makes me think maybe Code Geass would work a little bit, but Code Geass got a little harem to it, I think, right?
Yeah, kind of a bit. It's
Yeah,
almost like if you mixed Gundam with
Death Note.
Death Note
Yeah,
with one of those romantic simulation games, and then also there's a megalomaniac psychopath played by the Black Ranger from Power Rangers.
right.
That's a
I
real
mean,
thing.
it. I'm sure it would work. I'm sure it would work. It's just for me. I feel like I need something that doesn't have the anime tropes right away, or that they're
Yeah.
more quiet.
It's like, how anime can you get in this anime recommendation?
You can't really get that crazy. You can't.
No.
Like
I
I try to
will
get her to
never
watch.
recommend One Piece to my girlfriend.
I did make her watch One Piece, but I made her watch One Piece off the strength. Like this is
Uh-huh.
fire, and I don't care what nobody say.
You
You gotta
had
watch
to
it.
have so much clout. You probably had like 3 or 4 good recommendations in a row before she even considered watching a man who has the same powers and properties as a Trojan
I build it
run
up.
around
I
on a
don't just.
pirate ship.
You gotta sell the story. You can't just like, oh, this is good. Let's put it on. Like, no, no, no. You gotta be like, look, this is fire. This happens.
Mhm.
This type of stuff, and that, and then they're like, all right, cool. Let me just suspend disbelief for a little bit longer and try to get into what you're showing me because what you said sounded interesting. So they
Uh-huh.
get into it. So I'm telling her about One Piece and how what the story is like and how what the characters mean to me and how dope it is and how it represents this and that. And she's like, okay, cool. And then she watched it and she's like, I don't see anything that you just said.
It's a Durex running around with a pirate hat on.
Watch it. Watch him. Watch him out.
Whoever
That's
didn't
the
name him
Pirate
first
King.
man.
That's the Pirate King right there. I need some. I need
Pirate
some
King?
respect. That's the
Okay.
Pirate King.
That's a king size condom.
It's Kaizoku no Oni. Respect him. Anyway. um, nah, but she watched it. She watched it off the strength, and she was like, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think she viewed it through the lens of like a cartoon. Like, okay, cartoons is cool. You can watch it. It's
Mhm.
funny, easy, and lighthearted, and that's low key the early One Piece experience.
Uh-huh.
And I think that if I'm selling it to a guy who likes fights, maybe because she don't really care for fights like that. But if you're somebody that likes a good fight scene in an anime or maybe like a good scene, that's how you sell One Piece to people. It starts off very lighthearted and fun,
Mhm.
and then it
Mhm.
gets deeper and deeper. And next thing you know, you're tackling slavery and
Mhm.
apartheid and racism, and then you're talking about sexism, and then you're talking about cultural appropriation. And it's like,
In a
how the
show with a
fuck?
talking reindeer.
Yes, how did we get here from that? And it's like we started with a funny looking fruit, but now I'm like, I was Luffy stand up for slavery. Like,
Oh my god.
like, we need Luffy in Black Lives Matter clothes right now. We need him on the front lines because he support the movement. He do.
Bro, I swear to God, from what I know of
I'm
Luffy, he
telling
would have
you,
wrecked that entire movement in exactly 30 seconds.
Luffy
He'd
ain't for
say
the
something
games.
dumb. He'd get canceled online. He'd be
Zoro, we
canceled.
can't have
You know,
Zoro around. Zoro can't be
he'll,
around.
he'll get
But
lost.
no, he's racist. You didn't hear about this?
Now I hear about racist Zoro.
I can't believe you haven't heard Zoro's a racist. It almost made me not want to watch the show, but it was a very popular theory. From I think it originated from a One Piece YouTuber that I follow. He was live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Brago D Ace. Shout out to Brago. If you ever watch this, I fuck with you. But Zoro is racist. I'm gonna pull it up right now because this is hilarious.
Yeah,
But
see this. Let's
One
see
Piece,
your favorite character.
One Piece is a crew battle show. Just like Naruto, everybody got to fight. Everybody got a
Uh-huh.
one-on-one. Everybody got to throw the ones. Everybody has an opponent. It just so happens that every time Zoro's has his one-on-one, it's with somebody who's black. Every time. I'm okay. You don't believe?
That's the moment when he decides to step in.
Yo,
I'll beat you up. No, I
I
got
got
you.
him. I got him.
Hold your fire,
I'm,
Luffy. This man is in black.
I'm, I'm gonna show you right now. I don't know how well you can see this on this screen right here. Look at all of his
Oh my
opponents.
god,
This is
no,
everybody Zoro
Zoro.
has fought.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
look at this man. He's fought only black characters. Look at his face. All right, he take the headband off and show you his like Nazi sign eyeball. That's like he's
Oh my
crazy. That's probably why the iPad he got like a, you know what I mean? He's wilding. And look at this dude, just disrespectful. Like it's crazy. This dude is wild. To
Yo, he's
trans people too.
wrong.
Look at how you treating trans people.
You're like,
It's
yo,
wild. Anyway, Zoro's a
cancel
wild
Zoro.
dude. Yeah, Zoro can't be around, but Luffy's for the movement, and I can't wait for them to get the ones because that's waiting to happen right there.
Lord. So let me ask you this.
Hmm.
Would you say that your girlfriend
What's up?
is into anime now?
She's
Not girlfriend, your
not
wife.
opposed to it.
Sorry.
It
Let me
has
be
to.
respectful. Your wife. She's into anime now.
She's not opposed to it. She respects it as a medium in terms of it not being weird, and I think plug. I think that's important for everybody to uncringe things. I mean, use it. I don't care. Okay,
Yeah, use that. Use that.
it's
Use that
it's
verb that we just came up with.
yeah, we created it. Right. It's important to uncringe these things because to some people that don't know about it, they
Mhm.
look at you like what, like that weird shit
You're
that
like, this
people
guy's
be.
probably Naruto runs down the block.
Yeah, like nah. Like there's good and bad and everything. Just like you watch a reality show and I look at them and there's like always a girl on the show and I'm like, her whole face is fake, her body is fake, her personality is fake.
Her
like,
lips fake.
her lips is fake. a relationship is fake. Like, yo, I'm looking at her like, are you watching this? You don't see what I see? She's crazy right now. Like, yo, she's wild. And she's causing all the trouble. Like, what's
Yeah.
wrong with this girl? Like,
But she don't see it that way. Everybody else is causing the problem.
yeah, like it's expected because they know, and I've learned this when you watch reality shows with them, they know there's
Hmm.
always the couple or the person that's causing the trouble or the drama, the messy one, is the chill one. They know kind of what to expect going into it.
Reality TV is American anime.
Exactly. It's female anime. Female anime.
There's a
That's it.
protagonist that you choose to root for. They have to go through training arcs, weeding out the other people in the house,
That's a fact.
and then finally you get to like the main antagonist that they have to compete with and defeat.
Yep. They have a war arc. They
Oh
have a
yeah,
beach
where
episode. There's always a
everybody
beach episode
dies.
too. Yep.
There's the betrayal arc where their best
Hmm.
friend does something completely unforgettable and leaves the village.
Yep. There's always that one. There's always that
Uh-huh.
one. It's always like, is he gonna leave the village or not? Like, it's always like that. And so they be on vacation, and then it's like, oh, she gonna leave the trip, and next thing you know, they have brunch together. They
Oh yeah.
made up. Always
Yeah.
happens.
And then Kanye West shows up as the Maruchi of the entire series.
So yeah, like there's there's bad tropes about everything, but you just come to expect it because it's kind of what makes that medium what it is a little bit.
Hmm.
So I think with anime, you kind of have to make people understand that's not what you're watching it for. You already know there's gonna be the pervert character who overdoes it,
Uh-huh.
the big titty dummy. You know what I mean?
Everybody has a Master Roshi.
Yeah, everybody has a master. Everybody has an Orihime. Everybody has a
Hmm.
Nami or whatever. Like everybody has that character. It's just
Indeed.
there. So making them understand that that's not what's interesting about it is very important to make them kind of get it. So
Uh-huh.
now if I tell her, "Yo, this anime coming out," she'll watch it or she'll give it a chance.
Mm.
So
What, what was I about to say?
we have one
Mm.
more.
Okay.
How did you start getting into anime, and what is the impact that it currently has on your life?
How did I get into anime?
Yeah, like
Well,
what made you,
young man, let me tell you about this thing called Toonami. Because
do kids know about Toonami?
I mean, Toonami's still on the air, but it's on Adult Swim. So it's probably not what kids watch to get into anime because the way that I see it is
They're on the internet. They're not on
on the
Toonami.
internet. I
Yeah.
I think Toonami tried that like back in like the mid 2000s. They had something called like Toonami Jetstream, which is pretty much like Crunchyroll before Crunchyroll was a thing. Like they were ahead of the curve. Just that they weren't far enough ahead of the curve because this is when AOL was still a thing. So
Mm,
eh, right idea, wrong placement.
yeah.
But I don't think it's like as important to newer fans. I think at this point, what's it saying as like people like us are getting older, that we're kind of the ones who introduce kids to this thing, and then they have their own little pockets of, hey, did you see this? Hey, did you watch this? To be honest, I'm not even sure how anybody gets recommended shows because we literally just watched it because Tom from Toonami said, hey guys, this is the hot new show. It's the greatest action show on the planet. You gotta watch it. And I'm like, well, I'm not tuning in to Nickelodeon. Let's get it. But
Facts.
now I think it's more like they watch something on Hulu that maybe a family member suggested or a friend from school suggested, and then it shows up in like the recommended tab or whatever. But that wasn't our experience growing up. We grew up with Toonami. Me personally, what was it? I think my first introduction into anime
Hmm.
probably wasn't even Toonami, quite honestly. It was probably Speed Racer.
But you didn't know it was anime when it
I
first.
did
We
not. I
didn't know. Yeah, we had no idea. It was mixed in with cartoons very well.
You would think that was just like a cartoon, just like
Yeah,
one that obviously didn't have a budget because the mouse don't move with the words.
facts.
But then you get
And they
into
were adults. They weren't like anthropomorphic fucking creatures. They
uh-huh.
were like,
And
yeah,
it was like mad like kitty childish, like it fit right in with like the Saturday morning cartoon lineup. But then you get into Toonami, and my God, you're like, oh wait, this is anime with a plot with characters with dope fight scene. What is this? It was Dragon Ball Z. There was Sailor Moon. There was friggin' Hamtaro. Yes, I watched Hamtaro.
Hamtaro was
And
fire. I don't give a fuck what
that is
nobody
the
says.
greatest anime about hamsters that has ever
Hamtaro
been
was
made.
fire.
True.
Hold on.
Top 10 dead or alive.
Can you hear my background?
I can't tell. Is it like a
Okay.
fan?
No, it's music playing.
Okay, no, I don't hear anything.
All right, cool. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it. Toonami came on. I was glued to my seat.
So Toonami.
Toonami.
But that's when you. All right. So my answer is a little different.
Let's hear it. Because I'm actually surprised because I thought that was like everybody's answer.
No. Yes and no. Wait. How's my volume? By the way, my volume good? I feel like I got lower. Just cut myself just a little bit. Anyway, my answer is different, and I feel like it's different because anime was a social thing when we were growing up. It didn't have a stigma yet, right? It grew. It had a stigma, I would say, around like high school era.
Really?
Yeah, when Naruto came out, and probably when Dragon Ball Z was kind of fading, I think that's when it kind of garnered a stigma of being like the nerdy type shit. But I
I
know
think that's
for
once everybody started Naruto running. I think that's the
yeah, Naruto fucked up the game. Naruto fucked up the game, and it wasn't uncool. It wasn't cringe. It wasn't lame. It was the people, because Naruto garnered a younger audience, but Dragon Ball Z did not. So I remember my older brother watched Dragon Ball Z with me. He in high school, and him and his friends would talk about Frieza. And this is, I'm dating myself, I guess. I remember coming home and watching Goku fight Frieza on TV live. You're watching the brand new episode every week. And he would go to school and talk about it as a high school person. I would go to school and talk about it as a middle school person. I remember that. It wasn't corny. It was like a cartoon to them that was fire. That's how they looked at it. It was like one of the cartoons that was like, yo, this is still a good one that we're going to watch. We're not going to watch the other ones, but we still watch this. Right? So just like you wake up in the morning, you have your cereal, you'll watch Tom and Jerry. That's how they view Dragon Ball Z, kind of. It'll just be on and they watch it. So I think that's kind of when I started it, was around the time of Dragon Ball Z and around the time of Speed Racer, like you said, Johnny Quest. I remember in the morning I used to watch Zoids. Zoids was fire. Zoids. Tell me you know Zoids.
I know.
Don't do that.
I didn't watch Zoids.
You didn't watch Zoids? Are you serious?
I didn't sit down and watch Zoids.
With the Liger Zero and Z. Are you serious?
If I wanted to see giant cats running around, I watched Voltron.
It was a giant tiger, a giant metallic tiger with a fucking blade on its like shoulder blades, and that's how he won every fight. I don't know why he used any other weapon.
Voltron.
It was better than Voltron. The animation was fire. Zoids was clean. You wake up in the morning, you get Pokemon if you go to work. I think Pokemon was like 7 a.m. It was either too early or too late for me to watch Pokemon. But I know Zoids was right in that
I got the Poke Rap every time I went to school.
No, I remember for some reason I used to always miss Pokemon. I think I had to leave before I caught Pokemon or some shit like that. But Zoids I would catch, right? And it's like, yeah, that's kind of how I, was into it. When I say I learned what an anime was and I got into anime, was Yu Yu Hakusho. And that's still to this day, with One Piece being my favorite anime of all time. I have to give Yu Yu Hakusho the nod as my favorite anime of all time. I think One Piece is better, but Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite. Straight up. And that's when I realized, like, that's the story that I wanted to follow. I was invested, genuinely. Like, I actually paid attention to the arcs, and I was, like, really into it. And then Dragon Ball Z, I kind of just got into it. So, it was a social thing, anime back in the day, for me. Until Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is what made it a personal thing.
I feel like that show for a lot of people like changed the game, because me personally, I can talk from my own experience with Yu Yu Hakusho. It kind of feels like that one anime that bridged the gap from, okay, it's a thing that's like synonymous with Saturday morning cartoons, to oh wait, this could be about a bunch of things, and like it's not just okay, it's wacky, goofy, kid centric stuff. This can
Facts.
actually get kind of dark, and I think one of
Yes.
the reasons of that was because Yu Yu Hakusho for me, and I'm gonna assume for a bunch of other people,
Mm-hmm.
sort of was like the bridging of the gap
Yes.
between Toonami and Adult Swim. Because
Yes.
if you remember, it was originally on Toonami first, and like it was like watered down a bit. Like it was still like a bit much for a kids cartoon, but it was the '90s, so nobody gave a damn. So what's it called? You got Yusuke punching demons in the face. Uh,
Wildin'. I
yep,
don't care if she's a girl, I still knock her out. Nigga, what? On TV? Talking
Spirit
they would
gun. You said
never let
gun
that rock.
in
If
a
they
TV
remake,
show
yeah,
for kids.
gun. Gun. He busting up, bang, 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 bang. Like what?
He had a shotgun. I said, "Oh
He's
snap!"
doing this. He's doing this. I guarantee you,
He
kids
did it
running around
inside the
doing
school.
this.
That would not fly
It
nowadays. He
would
did it
not
in a
fly.
school. He shot a teacher with his spirit
Yeah,
gun in a school. Yusuke Urameshi, the original school shooter.
nigga, they're banning kids from having Death Note notebooks with lined papers on it and margins. It's
Oh yeah.
lined in margin and it just says Death Note on the front. You
Listen,
can't have that. You wrote
you,
somebody's name down.
you see a child
Like
walking around with
what?
a death note, just know they will actually do it. Like
They were actually
they'll actually do it. If
see,
they think
nah,
that,
no, stop. Don't put that on. Don't nope. That's the point of the podcast. We trying to
bro,
make nope.
listen, some things are a little bit too cringe to be uncringe. Like, bro, you walking around with a notebook of death? Nah. There's no way this is just for kids. This is just for kids. Nah.
That's a
That's just
murder
death.
attempt. What the fuck?
Dude, that sounds like how Light tested it out. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work. Like,
Let me
and
just
then it did,
test.
and then he did it again and again.
Right.
Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of
Top
the
of
morning.
the Yo, it's true though. It's
That's
true. That is a little. See, it's you niggas that fuck it up for everybody else. I mean, I'm getting on your ass right now. It's you niggas that's walking around with Death Notes and Naruto headbands in regular life, wondering why you don't get no women. Okay, wondering why don't nobody want to be your friend because you attempted murder and you trying to be a ninja while you in class. It don't.
They probably sit down in the classroom and do that.
You do that. No, my battery died.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man,
Okay, wait.
that's hilarious.
Oh, he
We'll just
gone.
get audio for this part.
All right, cool.
Hold on, I'm gonna put my charger on and I'll put the camera back on in a minute. But yeah,
All right. So
we can still do the audio.
All right, no problem. So what's it called?
Almost done
Like,
anyway.
yeah. So with Yu Yu Hakusho, it was originally on Toonami, and then I want to say like in the middle or at the end of the Dark Tournament arc when things was
Dark
heating up.
Tournament changed everything.
Dark Tournament was like a godsend. Like I still think it was still just tame enough that Toonami was like, yeah, kids can watch this, right? But then after that, I remember distinctly that Yu Yu Hakusho stopped airing. Like after the Dark Tournament concluded, it was no longer on Toonami. I was like, what the heck? You know, I felt like Woody when he watched the TV show in Toy Story 2. I planned the next episode. Like, where'd it go? Then
No, it's a fact.
But then I found out where it went. It went to Adult Swim, and the dub was pretty much like not redubbed, but the uncut version of the dub was on there. Still, it's still like watered down for like broadcast. But
I will say this: there's a good reason why. Because if you think about after the Dark Tournament, you get Chapter Black, you get the psychics. That actually was a twist towards more horror. So it's like we was good. We was letting you ride with your spirits and demons. But now you talking about
like
running around through the city,
whole genocide,
killing pedestrians, running through the hospital, killing people in the hospital.
having a
Like
doctor
you're wilding.
over here slicing people up, and I think this is like around the time of like Dr. Kevorkian.
Yeah, it
The
was
murder
wilding.
Dr. Death.
Tagashi was on one, and he was really, and yeah, I think that's when he really took his turn for the darker, because all his stories had a little I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho up to that point had a twist, had like a little dark twist to it with demons and
Uh-huh.
stuff and spirits, but
So I
it
will say
really
that the
went.
first episode was dark. Was here's your protagonist, and he's dead.
Yeah, it's like you was already edgy, and now you're like over the edge, and your story
Right.
is fire. So,
Yeah, I was 12. You showed me vehicular homicide.
do you think, since we own Yu Yu Hakusho briefly, do you think Dark Tournament or the Rogue? What do you even call that arc? The Chapter Black arc is what I call it, but
Yeah, I think that's like the general
the
consensus
actual name, yeah. What would you call it? Like, what's better between those
between
two?
Dark Tournament and Chapter Black.
Yeah, I think they're both equally as good. I would say story wise, Chapter Black.
I would say that they are neck and neck, except for the fact that I respect Dark Tournament's ending a lot more than I respect Chapter Black's.
Even now?
Even now, the problem with my what's called with Chapter Black, in my opinion, because it's a fire arc, like almost all the way through. The writing, great. The villain,
Incredible.
fantastic.
Absolutely incredible.
The fact that this is a guy was goal, and I wouldn't say this is spoilers for like a 30-year-old anime, but the fact that the antagonist of that arc, Sensui, was a dude who had seen so much human evil over the course of his life that he made split personalities just to be able to process all of it and not go actually insane
Genius.
is such a great piece of character writing.
It's a masterclass in anime. And then on top of that,
Indeed.
the people that he chose to help him are all very realistic archetypes of
Mhm.
people that struggle with shit in real life that are
Indeed.
possible to fall into cults or whatever right now. If you look at
Mhm.
these type of people now in today's world, yeah, these are the people that was,
Yeah.
QAnon type niggas. Like, yeah, they
Mhm.
would do that. And I'm not judging. Do people believe what they want to believe? It's not my business. Anyway,
Uh,
but yeah, it's believable character types. They killed the writing. Killed
oh
it.
yeah. My issue with it, me personally, is that at the very end of the Dark Tournament, it's a great time all the way through. It has a beginning, middle, and end. The story feels like it flows naturally. It feels like everything that was supposed to happen has grounding in the story for why it happened this way. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
perfect arc, in my opinion, a perfect tournament arc, as a matter of fact. Chapter Black is so good. It has so many great moments. Kurama deciding that I'm gonna kill a child. Yusuke deciding I'm put it all on the line, even though I can't fight this guy hand to hand. I'm still gonna give it my best shot. You got Kuwabara getting the best character development that he had in the entire show.
Facts.
All of it is just like I said, chef's kiss. The end of it though, like what
I
the
give you pushback on it.
end?
I disagree with you on the end. I think
Yeah, I
the
know, but
end is
hold on, hear me
well
out, hear
written.
me out, hear me out, hear me out. The end of that arc comes out of nowhere. I'm cool with them going to Demon World and having a giant slugfest in the middle of Demon World. That's cool. I'm fine with Sensui developing even more powers. What's it called? That I feel like he was already powerful enough before he started putting on holy armor, but that's besides the point. Then
Mm-hmm.
you say resurrects from the dead with new demon powers that are now only now just being explained to us in an exposition heavy info dump. Then he goes into demon world and beats this guy not with any strength that he's earned throughout the arc or anything like that, but with a deus ex machina
Mm-hmm.
butthole from a character we have not met yet,
Mm-hmm.
who just
All fair.
who interferes with this story, with the story
Mm-hmm.
between these characters. So now the story is no longer it's no longer a question of whose ideology wins, the spirit detective of the past or the current spirit detective on how humanity should progress or if they should even be allowed to progress. It's now a story of a spirit detective with strong ideals versus a demon who just popped into the plot like he just jumped into a co-op game and then dropped out 2 seconds afterwards after he won the game. He cheat coded the most important fight of this in the series up until that point. That cheapens the ending for me personally.
Okay, and I understand that it is a flaw. I think the biggest flaw with that is the fact that that power wasn't foreshadowed. Like, for what would have been perfect would have been
Mhm.
like if Toguro died or something like that, and then a part of his demon ancestor woke up inside of him, and then it
Uh-huh.
was like he survived through that, and then that would have been perfect. Then you foreshadow it, right?
Uh-huh.
But I
Like,
think that if Yusuke dies in the first episode and then
mhm,
he dies at the end and then comes back both times, it's like one time he came back because he went through this whole ordeal. The
mhm,
second time he came back was because, oh, demon thing. It's like, why didn't that
mhm.
happen the first time? You understand what
Indeed.
I'm saying? So I get that it was an asshole, kind of. I
Like,
understand that.
bro, you want to protect your son's life when he got hit by a motor vehicle?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But
I
what I
think it
will
would be
say
easier
is
to protect against that than demon magic.
what I will say though, right? I think it could have been done better thematically in terms of the battle between the two spirit detectives. Yusuke
Uh-huh.
lost. He lost.
Oh, badly.
No, no, no. His thought process was wrong. So like that's the whole point of the arc is that he was wrong. Like
Really?
he came from the good position of like humanity is good and there are inherent goods in people and we deserve to live. I totally understand that. That's the use case point of view and you can't end the world because you don't think that. But I
Uh,
think that since we was saying like, bro, only thing that really matters is power. I've been killing people this whole time. I thought they were bad. They really were just people just like me. All this really is about is power. And if I have enough power, I can do whatever I want pretty much. That's not his
mhm,
whole ideal, but that's like the point he was proving. Like, I'm going to get strong enough. No one is going to be able to stop me. I'm going to entice you to try to stop me, and you're still not going to be able to. That's
mhm,
the that's what he was doing cuz he didn't have to, he purposely cat and moused Yusuke into this.
mhm.
So, I thought it was interesting, it wasn't done
Oh
the
no, it's
best.
very interesting.
What would have been dope is if Yusuke somehow died and had to go through the ordeal again or something like that. And then we met King Yama. And then King Yama was like, yo, I'm gonna send you like you know what I mean? Give me something like that.
Uh-huh.
But what they gave us made sense. It was just an ass pull. And I'll give them this because and hear me out,
Mhm.
there was no way Yusuke was supposed to win that fight. Yusuke was on Togoro's level. You introduced a villain that was stronger than Togoro, a villain that was stronger than everybody we've seen. There's no way he's supposed to win that fight, right? Kuwabara was in there, sacred swording it up. They did
Mhm.
as many ass pulls as they could. Still, he still caught the body. Okay, like nothing you could do. Yusuke is dead. However, what they're trying to say is that he was part demon the whole time, right? And when you killed his normal soul, the demon part of him took over the body, right?
Uh-huh.
That makes sense to me because if they're both two parts in one body and you kill one part, the other part can take hold because it is now strong enough to take hold. It is an ass pull, but I understand what they're trying to say.
Oh, it was an incredible ass pull. The
I
reason
understand
why
what they're trying to say.
I understand what they're trying to say is just that I'll put it this way: like, it all comes down to how well did they foreshadow it,
They did not
because
foreshadow it well at
they
all.
didn't foreshadow it at all. For contrast, take I think the best like one of the best moments of like actual narrative foreshadowing in anime at that in that time period, because I can't go from like modern, because that'll be comparing it to like modern writing. Togashi is a really good writer, but I'm gonna be fair. I will say Dragon Ball Z pulled off foreshadowing a lot better when it came to a insane power boost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, welcome back.
Yes. Good.
Let's go all like, for example, if we were to take like Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
Gohan is a character who all throughout the series is shown that he gets angry, he has an outburst, his power goes out of control, he can't control it, people get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They show that in the Saiyan saga. He's a 4-year-old. He's beating down people who take over planets. They show it in the Vegeta arc where
Mm-hmm.
he gets angry enough to like almost like to actually pose a threat to Nappa at one point. Like he actually had to try to block something from him. They
So you're
show it in
saying
the
that's
Frieza.
a foreshadow. Okay.
Oh yeah, and they foreshadow it all the way through Frieza, through the androids. They foreshadow this all the way up to Cell. And then when we get to Cell, we get the payoff to the foreshadow. Like, hey, these seeds, it leads back to this.
I
And
agree it
this
was bad
is,
foreshadowing. I do.
oh
I
yeah,
I just think that thematically it was good enough that it like you can't have him win and the only way like he had to die. Yusuke had to die. The only way that you
did
can
he?
he
Did he
had to
have
die.
to?
He literally died for his ideals and that was him kind of proving that it was him proving that he could live for something. That was him saying, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna put my life on the line to protect people, regardless of what it does to me." He stood there and took that L like a man for what he stood for, and I think he had to take that L because he wasn't strong enough.
You
And
know,
I'm okay with someone else like Ryzen saying, "Hey, I'm gonna take over your body because you can't handle it." It's like, yeah, because he couldn't, and it's like that's why Yusuke felt cheated. It's like, yo, bro, like, what are you
yeah,
doing?
it cheats them, but it cheats us as well. Storytelling wise, this is the same thing as say this is I don't know why I have to keep comparing it to Dragon Ball Z, but this is the same thing as like Resurrection F, where
Ugh,
there's this like very good story nestled in there about Vegeta about to finally take his revenge on Frieza for all the crap he's put him through, for blowing up his
facts,
planet and whatnot.
facts,
Vegeta puts hands on Frieza, like
facts.
beats this man off of gold, and then keeps beating him. He's talking smack. He's boxing at one point. Vegeta's going in, and then Frieza still blows up the planet. Now that's all well and good because hey, if you're gonna do a shock ending, have the planet get blown up, and then like use that as jumping off part for another arc, that's dope. All right, now Frieza's blown up two of Vegeta's planets, and the status quo shifted. What they instead chose to do, like either they could have Vegeta win, which would have been a good
Hmm.
narrative, or B have Frieza blow up the planet, which would have been shocking, but it could still work. They chose to pull an ending out of their butt, have Goku go back in time and blow Frieza up. That
Yep.
robs Vegeta, that robs
I
the
agree.
story,
I
that
agree.
robs the viewer. And
I
I
hear
feel
what you're
like that's what
saying.
happened there.
I think that I'm okay with what they were trying to do, and the only reason I'm okay with what they were trying to do, damn, is because sorry, um, I'm okay with it because I feel like the story they were trying to tell through that action is still good. Even though the action itself is questionable, the story they were trying to tell, as in, oh, he died for what he believed in, and somebody took over and helped. It's like, all right, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But I see what you're saying. Your point stands. It's a weak
Sure,
part of
sure.
it.
I think if
Um,
they needed to kill somebody, they could have killed Kuwabara and had the same emotional impact.
no, I wouldn't have. Cap.
He's a man.
Kuwabara
He's fighting
Kuwabara
to
was
save
battling
people.
relevance. He was battling relevance the entire arc. You
What
can't
the
just
heck?
kill him now. Is then he's irrelevant. He was literally battling relevance. That's the whole point of his arc. That whole story arc. His character arc is he can't help them because he's not strong enough to do anything.
But he
He
has to try.
he has to try. He has the morals and the character to never, no, not to be corny. He
Indeed.
don't give
Now
up. Yeah, he a
that was
man.
Sensu's whole thing. He was saying, "Yo, humans are amoral as hell,
And
and they
Kuwabara
only
is the
come back."
antithesis of that.
Indeed. So if you have this guy stand up to him and knowing that he can't win, and he gets bodied, and use that as a catapult to have Yusuke dig deep and find some kind of strength or resolve to try either best Sensui or convince him that, hey yo, this ain't working.
No, but it had to be somebody who was at one point amoral, like Yusuke. It had to be like Yusuke is literally who Sensui is mad at. The early Yusuke, the first Yusuke that we meet, who's a good-hearted person, who's just like going through life, being a
Uh-huh.
piece of shit, being lazy, like the viewer, and and
Oh my god. And we're
they
canceled. And
yo,
we're canceled.
anime. Hold on, anime early on was fire, bro. It really used to call you out. I'm sorry. Like a lot of niggas, y'all was Yusuke. Y'all was being bad in school. Your mother was a piece of shit, just like you, and your home life was trash. You
Up,
know,
I can feel the subscriber count going down at this.
Shorty that liked you she was on you because you wasn't doing. Teachers was like, you're not up to your full potential. You ain't never gonna be nothing. and then you're in the hood and something happens, and then you're on a t-shirt.
Uh,
That's life.
and then you have to care for an egg. Hopefully hatch a penguin monster. As
I'm talking
everybody
about the story they painted early on.
else.
Yusuke's story is the story of a random hood nigga. That's his life in the beginning of Yu Yu Hakusho. Yusuke is a random hood nigga in Brooklyn. That's his storyline. In the beginning, you can't tell me he know niggas in the hood. He got ops. When he walked through the hood, he see the ops. They be scrapping. That's his life.
Oh my god, he existed in Square Up at all times.
Yes, he was King Von. That's who he was. So I'm just trying to tell you, like, so they called you out early days. It was like, yo, like this story is about you. This is the morals and values you should have. So I don't know. I think he's the antithesis of Sensui. Sensui was the straight and narrow guy his
Oh,
whole life,
definitely.
doing the right thing his whole life, and he watched people like Yusuke be pieces of shit. And he was like, why aren't y'all trying? Why aren't you trying to be a good person? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeesh.
So that's not Korobara. That's Yusuke.
Mm.
Sensui's a straight A student that really want to get on your ass, but he can't fight. It just so happened that he can fight. So,
Oh, he
you
can kick
know,
a soccer ball energy bill.
yeah. So and I don't know if you noticed, Japan is a big soccer culture. So he's a jock. He's a tall,
Uh huh.
handsome looking, he's like Yagami, essentially. He's the
Oh lord.
perfect person. So of course, he has a little bit of athletics. He probably played soccer in his backstory, so that's one of his moves. They're very smart in Togashi's very smart how he did it.
Mhm.
So yeah, had to be Yusuke in my opinion. But yeah,
Oof.
damn, we just spoiled the hell out that show.
I mean, listen, it's like 30 years old. Either you're gonna watch it or you weren't.
It's fire. It's better than Hunter x Hunter. If they gave
Oh,
that shit a Kai or a remake, it would be everyone's favorite show in the world. Give that one Demon Slayer level fight, and I don't give me Hiei versus Bui with Demon Slayer's art, and it will go viral. It will be the highest selling anime of all time.
just that one fight.
Just that one fight. But yeah, that's enough. We went long enough on that.
Indeed.
Yeah, we can go on the remakes.
Ooh. I mean, you did bring up Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, remakes.
All right.
Hunter x Hunter was mid X mid when it first came out. It was
Oh, we're gonna be assassinated.
no,
We're
I'm
gonna be
sorry.
assassinated.
I was in high school and I remember loving Yu Yu Hakusho, and I went back and I read Hunter x Hunter, which was his next series,
Mm-hmm.
and I read it. The manga was not that good. I watched the anime that was like 300 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It was nowhere near as good as people are saying. People used to actually dislike it or like sleep on it. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember saying, like, yo, it was good. I remember telling you in high
Yeah,
school,
I
yo,
remember.
it's kind of fire. It's kind of fire. But it's so slow and the animation is not as good.
Yeah.
Then yeah. So it wasn't nowhere near what people are saying. So what ended up happening was not only did the anime edit the old anime and the manga, it edited the story in a lot of ways and cut out a lot of BS. So if you
You
do that
talking
with a
about
lot
the
of
2011
shows,
remake?
yes. If you do that with a lot of shows, just a little revisionist history on the show, a little increase
Uh-huh.
in the budget. These shows that were gems are gonna look way better than Hunter x Hunter in comparison. Like if you do that with
Mm.
a show like Bleach, you just change it just a little bit in the right areas. Cut this character down a little bit, add a little bit more of that character, make this fight really good, make that fight not
Are you
happen.
proposing that they remake Bleach?
Well, they're doing the final season, and I'm telling you now, my hot take is people are gonna start saying Bleach in a whole is not that bad. People are gonna
I
start
don't know.
saying Bleach is really, really good. I'm telling you.
It's gonna be the anime version of the Star Wars prequels. I don't know why people were saying this is garbage when
Exactly.
actually, if you see the entire vision of
Yes.
the
Yes.
man who made it.
That's what's gonna happen with Bleach. I'm telling you now. They did it with Shaman King. I've started watching it. I haven't heard too much about it. I'm curious to see what people say now that they remade
Actually,
it.
I think what was it? You're talking about the remake of Shaman King. There's been a
Yeah, on
lot of
Netflix.
fucking remakes.
Yeah, remakes overall. Some of them are, the revisionist history is good sometimes. It's just
Mhm.
like In the case of Yu Yu Hakusho, they take out the gun. He doesn't say as much vulgar things as he used to. That would be whack.
Uh-huh.
But the overall idea of just increasing the pacing a little bit, making it look a little better.
Uh-huh.
Hunter x Hunter is not the top of the list of shows that could benefit the most from it.
True. I think the best example of a show getting a remake, changing up the pacing and the story a little bit, and getting a lot better
Mm-hmm.
is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Great. Yes. I like both.
I could not stand the ending of the first series.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was an interesting choice. It wasn't as good as it should have been, but it
Oh
was.
no.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was
It for me it was like when it was following the manga, it was like top tier. When
facts.
it veered off a little bit, it was still good, but it felt a little off, but it was still good. It was still good.
Mm-hmm.
I was following it right up until like they broke completely.
Mm-hmm.
Once their mom was revealed to be one of the bad guys, even though she had
Yeah.
died. Once a brand new homunculus was introduced,
Yeah.
once it was revealed that their dad was the villain, along with this lady who we've never met because she was never part of the story beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
is the true villain all along. I'm like, okay, this is bad. So they scrapped it. They said, okay, pay no attention to this mess over here. We're just gonna do
Mm-hmm.
it over. And the remake follows the manga, has the benefit of modern animation budget behind it.
Facts.
And because it takes place after the manga came out and they already knew how the plot was going to go, no
Mm-hmm.
filler, no nonsense. It's just the
None.
story. Here you go. If I was smarter, because
I
this
like
was
some of the choices they did in the original better,
a
but
few, like, I'll say this, like, the first, like, 20 episodes, I want to say, or something
should
like
have
that.
been untouched.
Yes. What's it called? Like, I like that Barry, like, this is getting into plot details, but I like that one of the characters in the show, a serial killer, was introduced in the what's it called was
Original.
in the original. Like his character was introduced, and then he comes back later
Yep.
on, and you know who this guy is and how he
Mm-hmm.
got to be in this current predicament.
Yep.
I like that they take a much longer time setting up um the most hated man in all of anime was named Shao Tucker.
Yes.
Um,
Fuck that nigga.
every dog has their day, but
This nigga. Yo, yo. Play the outro. Play the outro. All right, no, good. Oh my god. Actually, let me cut you there because you're wilding. No, leave Nina out of this.
well,
All right.
dog on it.
Listen. I agree with you. Okay. Yes, they did a good job the first 20 episodes of the
Indeed.
original. We both agree with that. But I just
Mhm.
realized something in the course of this conversation.
What?
Anime doesn't do what games do in terms of holding on to IPs. Anime keep pumping out garbage
Mm.
over and over and over again, and then every now and again they get a hit. But games, they do not put out a fucking new thing to save their life. They will never put out anything new that's not proven or already established in some type of way, and they keep building on sequels and keep building on this. If anime just took what games do and games just took what anime do, we would all be happier. If anime was like, yo, we about to take um I don't know, we about to take Beelzebub, an old series. We about to
Uh-huh.
take Rurouni Kenshin. We're gonna take Cowboy Bebop or whatever story people really like, and we're gonna remake it. We're gonna redo it with this art style. We're gonna redo this with this cast.
Hmm.
We would have classics, but they keep taking brand new IPs that they can sell toys from and sell box DVDs, and they keep putting it out for the little quick cash grab.
Mm.
And I think that anime would really benefit from a remake culture. Genuinely. There's so many shows that I've seen in the past that's like, yo, this is fire, but the fights ain't really doing they ain't doing what they need to do. Like Oh my god. I'm getting
Okay.
excited. Yo, Hitman Reborn remade? Don't yo. If you don't know do you know Hitman Reborn?
I know of Hitman Reborn.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You get hit with that dying will.
That show remade would be way better than what people call Hunter x Hunter. Just fix a little bit of the story, follow the manga a little bit better, and it would be a classic easily.
Uh-huh.
Storyline, no way. I'm sorry. Hunter x Hunter's storyline is goated. I'm not shitting on it, but I'm saying in terms of animation, fight scenes, impact, I think it would have a higher impact. So yeah, just
Mm.
overall, remake culture in anime needs to be a thing.
I agree with like some things.
Even One Piece could benefit from that.
One Piece is not
Don't
getting remade. If
no.
they start that 1,000 year anime over again, it will go on until the heat death of the universe.
What they started doing was they would make a movie for an arc, basically. So they did like episode of East Blue, episode of this, and it's like an hour long, hour 20-minute long. So
Mm-hmm.
they condense a whole arc basically into an episode to show you like the highlights of it. That
Steven,
that's dope.
Steven, an anime should not be able to fill in more movies than the friggin' Star Wars series. I guarantee you that at this point, it can do the entire Star Wars, all of the Star Trek movies, and at least 8 Lord of the Rings director's cuts movies, and still not get past East Blue.
How is that a bad thing? If it's good content. If it's good content, how is that a bad thing?
Because I am pretty sure I will die one day, and there's not enough time.
Don't put that on me. I'm seeing what the One Piece is before I'm out of here. That's
Steven,
the only thing keeping me here. That's why I'm healthy
he is
and
not
trying to be a
gonna
good
finish
person.
that story in
Stop,
my
stop, stop.
lifetime or
That's
yours.
gonna get us
All
canceled.
right. All right. He is not finishing this story. Him finishing this story is like the resurrection and return of Jesus Christ. We don't know the day nor the hour, but you just believe with all your heart.
So
Now that
so
ending is coming. He's gonna find the One Piece. He's gonna beat the Pirate King, even though at this point he could probably punch the previous Pirate King to the moon.
speaking of it ending. I don't know if you'll find this funny. This might not be funny. This might not be funny. There has been several accounts of people who
Mhm.
have had terminal illnesses, who are on their deathbed, and they'll be like, "Yo, like, can he just tell me what the One Piece is before I go?" And his editor team has been like, "We are not disclosing what the One Piece is."
I'm mad that the
But
last words that they probably heard on the planet was cease and desist.
yeah. And it's not to shit on their team because you don't know people are telling the truth. There's no proof, or even if
Mhm.
there is proof, maybe this person will tell something or
I
won't. You know
believe
what I
it
mean? But it's happened where he's shut people down, and it's hilarious. But I also wonder, has he told anybody?
of
What
course he
happens if
hasn't,
you
because he
don't?
hasn't figured it out yet.
He's no, don't do that to him. He's figured out so much already.
He has not figured out the ending of this story. I guarantee you that when he started this story in the 90s, Steven,
There's a
30 years
character.
ago,
There's
30
a
years ago.
character that was introduced like 500 chapters ago
Hmm.
that we know full well about that we have yet to see or interact with
Because he
as
probably
a
forgot
story.
about him.
No, he didn't. No, it's a very important character.
Okay, so Launch was an important character to Dragon Ball, and Toriyama has stated on multiple occasions, "Yo, I forgot that was a thing." Quite honestly,
Launch
and
was one of my favorite characters.
me too. And Toriyama said, "I forgot." Toriyama forgets a lot of stuff. At one point, he said, "Yo,
Should
I
have forgot
think
about
that,
Yamcha, bitch ass.
he forgot." Yo, this is gonna be funny. At one point, when he was writing and producing, and Battle of Gods was about to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went into an interview and he said, "Yeah, so I went back in. It was like just like old times. There was one of these characters, and then he said, "Yo, I realized that I kept on referring to Super Saiyan 3 as Super Saiyan 2 because, yo, I forgot that I made a Super Saiyan 3."
Oh my god. Are you fucking serious?
I'm serious. He forgot because he said he made Super Saiyan 1 and 2 look so similar. He was like, That was separate.
That's why he's a terrible writer. That's
Listen,
exactly
right?
why he's a terrible
Toriyama
writer.
Toriyama is really, really good at a lot of things. Writing with intent
Is
is
not one of them.
not one of them. He does it by accident. He's sort of like George Lucas. He's really
No, no,
good
no, no.
for
Leave George
ideas.
Lucas alone. George Lucas is
He's
a good writer.
really good for ideas. His ideas are fantastic. But please don't ask him to explain what the plot is ahead of time. Because he'll be like, I'm making it up as I go, quite honestly. If we could tie this all together later on, we will.
So I think George Lucas is a great writer. You need to leave that man alone. Okay.
Dang, it's
This
not
is
warm enough for me to go to the beach, but that's a good thing because I don't like sand.
it does get everywhere. That's it.
Because it's coarse and it's rough.
It is. What's the problem?
Not like George Lucas' writing; it's everything soft and smooth.
What's wrong with
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Listen, the prequels are not that bad. Okay.
We're
Prequels
not
are
going to
not
get
that
into
bad. A
that.
New Hope is that bad.
Did you say it is that?
Return of the
Oh,
Jedi. I'll go movie for movie. We could do this. You pick your three. And we'll do matchups.
what a top 3 Star Wars movies?
I'll give you. I'll throw away. What is the first one? Phantom Menace versus what's episode 5?
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire. Yeah, you can have that matchup. But I got the other two.
Okay, let's hear it. What's your
A New
second?
Hope versus Revenge of the Sith. I win.
It's not fair.
A New Hope versus Revenge of the Sith. I win.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You
Attack of
do
the
not win.
Clones versus Return of the Jedi. That's a toss up.
Oh wait, we're doing
I
OT. No, man,
no. We doing
no, You are
OT.
not about to.
We
You
doing
are
OT, and then we'll do if we go OT. I got Clone Wars. You got the Christmas movies. I win. I
what the hell?
win.
A Christmas movie. I'm gonna throw something at
The
you.
what? That's your original trilogy spinoff. My
Yo,
original,
stop.
my prequel
Nah,
spinoff
nah.
is
You
Clone Wars.
can't pick the quality one. You'd have to go with. Damn it.
I got the Clone Wars. I have the Clone Wars is my back pocket. That's a great 6-man. Okay, that's a great 6-man.
If you can have the Clone Wars for that time period,
That's the problem with the original trilogy. They have no bench. It's just those 3 movies. There's no other content. That's it. The prequels, we have Attack of the Clones. We have the Coder games. We have
yeah.
expanded.
You see, you want to know
Like
why you had to have all that? Because the movies that they're based on are hot garbage, and they needed
we
it.
got double-bladed lightsabers. We got Coruscant. We have mad fire locations and
You had Jar Jar. You had the Gungans. You
so
had
yeah, this
whatever
has
those
been a
weird
great
bug
podcast.
aliens were.
This has been a great podcast, guys.
You said podcast gonna die?
somebody somebody need to put Jar Jar in with Zoro and see what Zoro do to Jar Jar.
I mean, technically speaking, I
Is
don't
Jar Jar
know.
black?
Jar Jar is Jamaican.
So Zoro
Mash up that bomba clock?
Yeah. So they're all Jamaican?
Wasn't all right.
That's the island. So Naboo is the island. So Padme is from
No. Padme is from South Africa at the very least. She is a white lady. That is a white person.
She from the islands though. If Naboo is the islands, she from the islands.
She decided to date and marry a school shooter. That is a white woman.
He literally is a school shooter.
He literally is. Shoot. He ran up. He got mad and over a girl.
The Star Wars is about the story of a school shooter.
That's a whole fact. It is a Degrassi episode in space. That's what your prequels are. It's a Degrassi episode in space. We start off with him. He's young. He's idealistic. Very annoying. Probably wouldn't be able to get a girlfriend at any other point in his life. But, he harasses this woman to the point where she says, all right, I'll give him a shot. And then he turns around and immediately murders men, women, and children. And then she marries him 2 days later. And then she's shocked when he then turns around and murders men, women, and children.
Yo,
Anakin, you changed. No, 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 honey.
you just didn't
No.
believe him the first time. Yo, you ain't see him on Geonosis, bro.
And the women and the children
Yeah,
too. To
nah.
Anakin's human Anakin 5 years later. I killed them for us, Padme. No, I would never accept it.
You're going down a path I can't follow, bitch. You
Yo,
was
you better
following the whole
follow him. You followed him to the altar.
time. You followed him, like, yo. Padme needs Kevin Samuels. That's what she needs.
She's a low value woman.
Padme's a low value woman. She's a high. Oh, yo, Padme is a low value woman.
Yo, she's the queen of the
Yo,
planet.
she's a boss chick. That's
She's the
like,
queen of a
yo,
planet. She's the queen of a planet, and she's a senator. Like,
she is a
nah.
low value woman, bro. She
Anakin is a
think
low value man. He's never held a job. Jedi is a religion. He has no money.
Yo, yo.
He's staying
And
at her house in episode 2.
why do they always go for the ragamuffins, bro? That's
The whole
crazy.
fact. He's from the hood.
He's from the hood. He
The
he
whole
is.
fact.
He's from the island. He married the island girl.
Oh
That's
yeah,
her roots. That's her roots. That's what she likes.
this is ASAP Rocky and Rihanna.
Yeah,
in
that's exactly
space.
what it is. Yo, Padme need Kevin Samuels training, bro.
There's a whole fact.
She be over talking and
shit.
shit.
Yo, no. She needs to overtalk Anakin. The first time she overtalked him in episode 2. She said, "Excuse me." He's over here. Excuse me.
Excuse me, princess. Yo, oh my god. Oh, yo. Why do we need the manosphere in Star Wars, bro?
Oh.
I'm cutting this up. All right, so before we get canceled on the first episode,
Anakin canceled. The school shooting, gaslighting.
school shooting gaslighter hood nigga with daddy issues.
You turn against me, bro. You just choked her.
You just choked her. Yo, he needed to go to space jail, bro. Where's jail in Star Wars?
Man,
that's the biggest problem. You got Jedi as cops. There's no jail.
That's a whole fact. In fact, half the Jedi needed to be in jail.
You are a Sith.
Yoda showed up with a war.
You are a Sith. The Jedi are not evil. All right.
What?
The Jedi are not evil.
Okay, so Steven, when you eventually have a child, Steven, I'm gonna come by in a robe. I'm gonna say he must be trained, snatch him out of your hands, and abscond with him to the nearest church and tell him that he can't see you for the next 20, 30 years. All right. And I'm going to tell, and then as soon as he's old enough to say his Hail Marys properly, I'm going to hand him a gun and say, now it's time to get enlisted into war.
That was America.
And then we're going to just see if he turns out bad or not.
You will not take her from me.
Yo, they literally, the Jedi are literally like a school shooter, school 101. They take
I just realized that was PTSD from him.
What? Oh, what? Oh, being taken away from his mom?
Yes.
Yes, because the Jedi are virtuous. He got dragged away from his mom against his will.
Yo, they
when
put
he finally sees her
PTSD.
again, she's dead. And when he said, for years, yo, can we go back and get my mom? Our powers cannot help her. Nigga, buy her. Yo, cheat like you cheated for Watto. These guys don't follow no rules.
Yo, leave the Jedi out of this. All right, the Sith are worse by comparison. So that's all we're talking. The Sith are worse by comparison.
Listen, all right. Let's look at what the Jedi did.
Trade blockades and shit like that. The Sith
trade blockade. Now,
the Sith are Russia.
Huh?
The Sith are Russia. That's them. That's them.
Bro, but okay, so what are the Jedi? Because the Jedi worked for Palpatine.
The Jedi are America.
So are you saying that America is in Russia's pocket, Steven? Is that what we're saying here on this podcast in the midst of everything
So
that's
we're
going
not
on?
gonna get too political. We're just you trying to get us canceled. That's not happening here, sir.
My man said, "Yo, the Jedi." He said the Sith are evil. The Jedi did nothing wrong, bro. The
By
Jedi were worse than the
comparison,
Sith.
we're talking
By
by comparison.
comparison, okay. By comparison, all right.
Nobody in Star
Who
Wars is
showed
all
up with the
good.
army and started a war?
Master Cypher Diaz. Next question.
And he was a
Sith.
Jedi.
Nope. Sith. Got
Jedi
him.
Master Cypher Diaz.
Got him, people. Got
He was a Jedi.
What do you?
Nah,
That's
he was
Count
a
Dooku.
Jedi, bro.
That's his fake name.
No, it wasn't. No, he was
Master
a real
Cypher
person.
Diaz is Count Dooku.
No, Master Cypher Diaz is not Count Dooku. Count Dooku is Count Dooku.
What do you mean?
There is no way that
It's a
Obi-Wan and
fake name that
Yoda
he
looked.
used.
Yoda and Obi-Wan knew
We're
about
not
Cypher
doing this.
Diaz. They
We're
were like,
not
"Yo,
doing this.
Cypher Diaz died like 10 years ago in episode 2." So they knew of this man. There's no way that they looked at Cypher Diaz and they were like, he looks kind of like Dooku.
Wait,
Yoda, doesn't he look like your former Padawan, Dooku?
I'm looking this up.
Yes, there
Oh,
he
shit.
is.
Who the fuck is this guy?
That's Cypher Diaz.
I gotta rewatch the prequels.
Yeah, you do, because apparently you didn't see that George didn't even figure this part out. Filoni's the one who fleshed this guy out because he realized, yo, George just didn't explain this part.
Look at his face.
The main key to the mystery of this entire who are the Sith and what is going on thing is something you need to watch the next to last season of a children's cartoon to be fully explained.
Okay, listen, we're not doing this to the prequels, all right? That's enough. We'll leave the prequels out of this, all right?
Well, listen, all right? The Jedi and the prequels are terrible people who did terrible things. Luke Skywalker was right. Them niggas needed to end.
No, they did not. The Jedi are good. They are a net positive on the universe.
They are a net positive?
Net positive.
Okay, so...
You sound like a Sith. You sound like a Sith. Only a Sith
sounding
deals
like
in
a
absolutes. A separatist? Did you just call me a separatist? That's like calling me a Confederate.
Okay, now... Man, you know what? I'm gonna ask you this question.
Yo.
All right? Now, I'm gonna describe a Sith-like quality, and you're gonna tell me if this is like evil or not, all right? So we can put to bed whether or not the Sith are evil.
They are.
All right, so... Say a Sith Lord has a really powerful Jedi at knife point, and he has the ability to capture this Jedi, but instead he chooses to murder him. I think that is probably like the most just thing that could happen. What about you?
So a Sith Lord has a Jedi,
like completely captured and disarmed, and he probably,
the Sith Lord decides to kill the Jedi. You're saying?
Yes, I think that's just. I'm saying that makes them better, him a more good person than the Jedi.
No, because the Jedi would capture him.
Oh, okay, no problem. Okay,
he must stand trial. Okay, did you forget about
you
that?
Understand.
He must stand trial.
Okay, so let me see it. So when Jedi Master Mace Windu.
Oh shit! I fell into this. Fuck.
I'm glad you quoted the exact scene too.
I knew he
was going. Because he was too dangerous to be left alive.
Listen, only a Sith deals in absolutes.
He was absolutely gonna murder this man.
No. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's not.
He is too dangerous to be left alive. Is an absolute statement.
You have to ask the Force what you should do.
He forced that knife near his neck.
You gotta ask the Force. You can't just decide on
your own. He asked the Force to help him kill this man. No. He killed somebody's grandpa. He tried to kill somebody's grandpa. He tried to kill Rey's grandpa.
Listen. Have you ever seen someone catch the Holy Ghost? You think they're rational when they're doing that? That's the Force. The Force is the Force.
The Force was the Holy Ghost?
The Force is an intentional Holy Ghost, and you just act upon what they say to do.
Out of the 3 people in the room, he just caught the Holy Ghost harder than everybody else.
The Holy Ghost told him that he
mass murdering school shooter who said,
Jesus said you got to kill your brother, and then in the Bible they did it. That's what they was doing.
That
he said,
"Yo,
that's what happened." Jesus was like, "Yo, your brother kind of wild. You need to get him up out of here." So
that's
then he
not
went.
What happened. You
which one? So that's what it was. It
This is the
depends.
Bible as written by George Lucas.
What? I'm all right. Listen. We're gonna have to revisit this point, all right? Because I'm outmatched here, so I'm gonna concede.
My powers have doubled since last time.
I'm gonna concede this argument, but you have not won. All right, this is like when Qui-Gon Jinn got in the cruiser and we left. So we
No,
out.
that's a loss.
No, he didn't lose to Mace Windu.
Bro was out
I
of
mean,
breath. He caught an
Darth Maul.
asthma attack.
He landed. He
When
had to take a
Darth
little
Maul was
breath.
chilling, Darth Maul showed up in the desert in an all black hoodie with black Air Forces on, and beat this man up.
Yo.
And
Why?
right before he beat up this old man, he was fully prepared to run over a child he did not know who
You
he
think
was.
that your Star Wars knowledge is elite, and one of these days I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Listen, all right,
One of
man.
these days
I've
I'm gonna
watched
prove you
all of
wrong.
these movies, and I love each and every one of them for the corny, nonsensical schlock that they are. But the prequels are bad. I
No,
love
they're
them,
not. They're
but they
not
are
bad.
bad.
They are not bad. And no, they are not bad films. All right, I concede this here. So we're gonna wrap.
And watch the Clone Wars. You wouldn't have walked into that Cypher Diaz trap if you had watched the damn Clone Wars, like I
I'm
keep
not
telling
watching that damn cartoon.
you. Watching the damn cartoon because
As a,
apparently you need it in order to know who Cypher Diaz is, Mister. He
as
is
some
fucking
as
Google.
someone that watches One Piece, I'm not watching that fucking cartoon. Nah, I'm sure it's fire. I'm sure it's fire. I just don't want to get to it right now. It's not on my list.
Oh my
So
god.
we're good. We're good. We got a lot of
Our
stuff.
next podcast, one of our topics is going to be how do I start the Clone Wars, because this is clearly something you need to do and others need to do.
We need to talk about backlogs next week because I
Backlog.
have backlogs of games and shows. How do you
Have
get
you-
to your
have you-
backlog?
that sounds good. As long as you don't suggest that One Piece ever be in my backlog.
One Piece is in everyone's backlog.
I will die of old age and
One
space
Piece is
cancer.
like the anime version of Tom from MySpace. It's just automatically in your friends list.
Oh
And
my
at
god.
some point, you have to get to it. You can't get rid of it. At some point,
Or like most people, you delete them.
no, you can't delete
Yeah,
One Piece from
yeah.
your
You can
backlog.
delete Tom. You can
But then,
delete.
why would you do
You
that?
can delete this guy.
That's the only famous person that you know in your friends list. You might as well
You
keep
know
it,
what?
right?
I had Jay Z, or at least somebody who claimed to be Jay Z.
Yo, remember back before Verify?
Oh my god, everybody was Mary J. Blige.
Everybody was Keisha Cole in it.
Yo, Diddy
Yeah.
offered me a record deal.
Oh my god.
I can't even sing.
Did he offer me a record deal? Listen, I had like 15,000 plays on my shit. So can't tell me nothing. All right.
Man, listen, all right. I had 15,000 plays too, and they were all from LimeWire because the virus got into my account.
You remember when every song was cranked that Soldier Boy no matter what?
Remember every song that you thought you got right was Bill Clinton saying, I did not touch that woman.
I remember that on YouTube.
Go to thatpimp.com.
Oh my god. Yeah, we've been trying to wrap this for like 10 minutes. We gotta wrap.
All right, let's wrap it up. So,
All right. So I think that we did a good job with the recaps. You guys let us know if you happen to listen to this. If you wanted a small few people to decide to check it out. Let us know if you want any changes, any suggestions, anything you want us to check
all
out.
ears.
All ears. Should we cut anything out?
What, in editing?
Yeah, I mean, are we gonna be the type of guys that cut stuff out, or are we just gonna?
I mean, if YouTube demonetizes us for some of our hot takes, then maybe we can revisit this.
We can revisit this, but for right now, we're just gonna go.
I'm pretty
full.
sure the content ID will take issue with me saying that a series about space wizards for children involves the greatest mass murdering school shooter of all time. That's just
We're gonna get demonetized for some combination of words that we've said in here.
Between that and the Yu Yu Hakusho one, we're getting demonetized.
We're getting demonetized, but we're going balls deep on this one. We're uploading the entire thing, and we don't care.
Well, yeah, we're officially demonetized now.
Yeah. So uploading it, you let us know. I personally, and I know you share this sentiment, we don't watch as much stuff or play as much stuff as most people do. Um, so I think the touching on the life stuff is more important, giving people
Indeed,
knowledge.
indeed, because we have to pay for the stuff that we play.
That's
So
a fact. If I'm spending my hard on $70 on something, it better be good.
that's a whole fact. Like if I buy something for $70 and it's kind of good, I'm
I'm
kind of
mad.
gonna be mad.
Yeah, it's a fact. So we'll touch more on the life stuff going forward, but we had a little rhythm on the anime tip.
Ooh,
So
we could talk about gaming budgeting next time.
game what?
Game budgeting.
I'm down for that.
Oh yeah, I
Game
exist on
budgeting and
PlayStation Plus.
backlog because my backlog is fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, we
I
gotta
have
pay that
hundred
one.
hour games in the 100 hour games in the backlog that I just bought another game. Why'd I buy that? I still haven't played Mario Odyssey, and I'm making a 3D platformer.
The greatest game that I played recently to completion was Angry Birds. That's how non-committed I am to spending $70 on a game at this point.
Yeah. So, all right, we are the Uncringed Podcast. Hopefully, we are making this type of what would you call it? Medium culture more palatable for you.
Indeed,
Something to listen to and kind of relate to, and it's not necessarily corny, not necessarily nerdy. We're not running through the hallway with Naruto headbands. We
indeed.
have, you know what I mean?
We're
No
not yelling
normal
on
people.
Pickle Rick.
So yeah, yelling Pickle Rick for fucking sauce. No, not happening over here. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. We are out. Let me play the outro, and yeah, take us out.